Than they used to do. Some looking just a little bit different. Healthy crowd, as you can see. That is the Kop end. And there is the manager of the All-Stars team. He's not Ricky Tomlinson tonight, he is Mike Bassett, England manager. Good to see him looking well. He got the job in the film because his predecessor had a giant heart attack. Well, Ricky had one of his own a couple of years ago, but he's in good health now. Louise Redknapp here to see her husband in action, and Rafa Benitez and his assistant manager Sammy Lee are both present tonight. There are a legion of substitutes awaiting their moment in the spotlight. Friendly handshakes for now. The players have spent much of the afternoon together. Let's have a look at tonight's lineups. The average age of each team, incidentally, is 45. Poignantly, the Liverpool starting lineup tonight includes 7 of the 11 that lined up at Hillsborough that fateful afternoon. All but 4 of the 14 Liverpool players who were named for that semi-final are in the Liverpool legend squad tonight. In addition, 3 of the Nottingham Forest team that faced Liverpool on the 15th of April 1989 are in the All-Stars team. Des Walker, Steve Hodge and Nigel Clough. Only one of the celebrity participants starts the game. Bradley Walsh of Lord Order UK fame is at right back. Well, the presentation party tonight includes the newly announced Footballer of the Year, Steven Gerrard, and representatives of the Hillsborough Family Support Group. It's the cheer for the Liverpool skipper. Among the representatives, rather at the front of the line, are Trevor and Jenny Hicks, who lost their teenage daughters, Vicky and Sarah, at Hillsborough. Some special mascots for Liverpool this evening, Jack and Michael McComb, and also Oliver McAllister and Charlie Redknapp. No prizes for guessing who their dads are. There's Jenny Hicks. And these players were counsellors to many of the families in the days and weeks immediately after the disaster. They gravitated here to Anfield, where Kenny and Marina Dalglish hosted them every day. Paul Harrison, the Liverpool goalkeeper, tonight was just 4 years of age when his father Gary and Uncle Stephen went to watch a football match in Sheffield and never came home. Paul, who was reserve here with Liverpool, was on the substitutes bench for 1 or 2 first-team games. Currently plays for the Welsh team, the New Saints, but invited here this evening not only to keep goal for Liverpool, but to captain the Liverpool Legends team on this very special anniversary night. They've been through so much together. Alan Hansen was always the most vocal. Jim Beglin alongside me, used to be a part of the group now. There's one $64,000 question, Jim. Why are you here and not there?
Right knee. Simple as that, yeah. Arthritic right knee. It's no good anymore. Taking a mickey out of Kenny Dalglish just then. As soon as he joined in to have the picture taken, the rest broke up. Did you notice as well that not one of them went down on the knee for that? Because they'd struggled to get back up. They all stood.
Well, I'm sure they're all recording your comments this evening, Jim, and I'm sure you'll be hearing about it next time this group gets together. And this is a group that gets together very regularly, isn't it?
It is. As we know, Steve McMahon's come all the way from Singapore from afar this evening. But yeah, I think there's a very strong ex-players association now with Liverpool Football Club, and there are regular get-togethers, golf days, dinners, etc. So yeah, the banter will be in full flow, I'm sure.
Alan Shearer, who had a rather chastening experience here as the Newcastle manager last week, is here on the Legends bench, the All-Stars bench tonight, alongside Mike Newell, his former striking partner at Blackburn Rovers, now the manager at Grimsby Town. The seniors begin. Ian Rush, Liverpool's record goal scorer. Nobody has scored more goals in the red of Liverpool than that man. Steve McMahon, who now lives principally in Singapore and flew to Merseyside yesterday and flies back to the Far East tomorrow. That's how important it was to him to be a part of this occasion. Kenny Dalglish's first signing as Liverpool manager in 1985. The referee we got a glimpse of before. It's worth mentioning that Chris Foyt, Premier League referee, and his assistants tonight, Robert Pollock, Jake Collin and Ian Hustin, have all given their services for free in order to support the Marina Dalglish appeal, the charity that will benefit from this evening's anniversary match. More details of the Marina Dalglish appeal at the website address marinadalglishappeal.org if you want to find out more about that. Support it, we'll be telling you about it during the evening. Steve Hodge, who is a Nottingham Forest player in that semi-final, playing at left back tonight, plays it to Graham Stewart, who was in the last Everton team to win the FA Cup in 1995. And here at right back, Viv Anderson, who was part of the Nottingham Forest team that started to unseat Liverpool in the late 70s and early 80s. Teddy Sheringham looking for Graham Stewart, bypasses Steve Staunton. And here is Bradley Walsh, and that's a searching cross, and it just asked a bit too much of Teddy Sheringham. A Sheringham-Clough striking partnership. Where's the pace there, Jim? Yeah,
well, I mean, the lovely Linko play in the build-up to that was there, but yeah, they were going to struggle, I think, to run beyond that Liverpool defence tonight. Just for a moment, though, I thought Bradley Walsh had delivered a peach here, but just a little too far for the target, which was Teddy Sheringham.
Bradley Walsh is the only member of the starting 22 who hasn't played professional football, although he was on Brentford's books once upon a time. Steve McMahon looking for Ian Rush, familiar combination from the past. This is Steve Staunton, now Kenny Dalglish.
Now that Liverpool have got it, you just wonder how long it'll be before a white shirt touches it again. Let's see if some of the old passing magic is still there.
Gary Ablett playing at centre-back alongside Alan Hansen, looking for Ray Houghton, but finding only Trevor Stephen. Once of Everton, here's Steve Hodge. Given straight to John Aldridge. Ian Rush to Ronnie Whelan, and now Kenny Dalglish. Steve McMahon. No sign of anybody making a lung-bursting run ahead of him, but Dalglish is trotting forward, trying to link with Rush. And it was Des Walker who came between them.
Now, tempo-wise, it will be measured this evening.
Jim picking his words very carefully with so many good friends and golfing partners out on the field tonight.
Well, just remember, you know, a couple of years ago when we played up at Celtic Park, that defensively back then Liverpool always kind of pressed high up the pitch, put pressure on the player with the ball, and just basically let people run in. If they get offside, they're offside. And we instinctively took up those positions again, then realised, hang on a minute, we can't get back these days. So I think it'll be a little deeper at times tonight.
Dalglish finding space and looking for Rush, cut out by Walker. Paul Bracewell, a little loose. Trevor Stephen able to gather it. Steve Hodge forward to Nigel Clough, the current manager of Derby County. Swept into Bradley Walsh's path. Must be a real thrill for Bradley Walsh. He was, as I say, with Brentford in the early 80s. More recently of Coronation Street and Law and Order UK. McMahon. Ray Houghton to Kenny Dalglish. Des Walker getting a foot in. McMahon played just behind John Aldridge. It was Steve McMahon who teed up the opening goal for John Aldridge in that 1989 FA Cup final.
Trevor Steven on it now. I've had a few duels with him in my days. We played right side of midfield for Everton. Terrific player. England international as well. Went on to play for Marseille. Very clever on the ball.
He was telling me about his various business interests this afternoon. He does some television work in Ireland. He's a football agent, and he's involved with a company that supply private jets. Whatever happened to the days when former footballers opened a pub? Steve Staunton. Crossed in towards his former Irish teammate, John Aldridge. Staunton himself, the former manager of Ireland. Here's Ronnie Whelan, another Irishman. Rush to Gary Gillespie playing at right back, and that's gathered by Bobby Mims, the former Everton goalkeeper. Given away by Viv Anderson, straight to Ray Houghton. In towards Kenny Dalglish. Des Walker's header is only as far as Ronnie Whelan. And now Ian Rush. Didn't used to do that, did he?
Just for a moment I wonder whether Ronnie was going to go for a little curler with his left foot, but once he saw Rushy just outside the box, I think he thought, no, it's the easier option. Dalglish might have just strayed offside. Flag could have gone up had it got all the way to him, but just leant back a little bit. That's unlike him.
Paul Bracewell. Trevor Steven is onside. Nigel Clough, who had a spell here at Liverpool as a player. Graham Stewart into the path of Viv Anderson. Here's Teddy Sheringham. He's trying to shield the ball from Gary Ablett and winning a controversial free kick.
That's gone down well with the Kop, hasn't it, that one? At this juncture, what do I do? There is contact. There's enough in that for a free kick.
Teddy Sheringham was a cup finalist against Liverpool just 3 years ago. Extraordinary, really. He actually scored in that shootout for West Ham United. I think he was the only West Ham player who did. It's Sheringham taking the free kick, which is deflected, and over Paul Harrison's crossbar for a corner kick.
8 yards at most, that wall.
I wonder whether Ricky Tomlinson has gone for the zonal marking system tonight or man-to-man. Trevor Steven with the corner. Dave Watson couldn't quite reach it. Steve Staunton away as far as Graham Stewart with a bit of a blast.
Well, that's two we've seen now. Would either end that been a little bit wild? Watson's climbing all over Gary Ablett.
I wonder what Ricky Tomlinson makes of the start that his Legends team have made, his All-Stars team have made.
OK, Ricky Tomlinson, a.k.a. Mike Bassett. What do you make of it so far?
Well, it's going according to plan. Me and Phil Thompson, we sat up all last night working out tactics, and it's gone absolutely perfect up to now. We've contained them, no problem, for just over 7.5 minutes. And I just think now that, well, some of the Liverpool legends are getting a little bit tired, so I think in a minute we're going to see something dramatic happen.
What's the biggest threat, you think, from the... What do you think is the biggest threat from the Liverpool legend side?
Well, that we injure some of these old people, because, I mean, some of them are really old, you know. Like Kenny Dalglish, I mean, he's good, he looks well for his age, but he's 55. He's 55, he shouldn't be on the pitch. But look at our lads now, the way they're attacking. They've got everything under control. They're playing as a unit, they're playing as a team. Look at this, look at this. They're making a show of them. They're making a show of the Reds, which is something I thought I'd never say. Oh, look at it. Oh, look, they're swanking now, they've got the ball back.
Mike, we'll check in with you again later.
See ya.
Good luck.
Bye.
Tactics, my heart. Trevor Steven. Oh, now that's savage from Gary Gillespie.
Ricky wants a card, but I think this one definitely was a free kick. Just a little dink over the leg. Is he high enough there or what? Just to make sure.
Might come for Bradley Walsh. Stopped by Gary Ablett. Kenny Dalglish. Teddy Sheringham has picked his pocket here. And the header behind is by Alan Hansen. Well, I mean, questions would have been asked of Kenny Dalglish if a goal had resulted there, and we wouldn't have been able to understand the answer, unfortunately.
He wouldn't have been allowed. He would have been absolutely slaughtered if that had gone in the net.
Paul Bracewell. Viv Anderson's in there. Forced goalwards away by Ronnie Whelan. Here is Kenny Dalglish. Did he ever give a team talk which he simply didn't understand because of his accent? Wait a minute, here's Graham Stewart.
Well, not a whole team talk. I mean, I'd grown to kind of understood most of what he said, but there were one or two sentences at times when I just nodded. I just thought, I'll take the simple route.
Alan Hansen, a great Liverpool captain too. Gary Gillespie played so many games alongside Hansen. Here is Dalglish. Ray Houghton to Steve Staunton.
The pace might be lacking a little bit, Clive, but the technique's still there. The first touch and the passing into feet. It's quite nice to watch from both sides.
I think the thing to do is perhaps to record this and then play it back at times two.
Yeah, speed it up a bit.
Ablett trying to get Steve Staunton, who looked as lean as anybody, I thought, when they arrived this afternoon on a run, but and once upon a time, maybe, Gary. I don't think Kenny's going to play all that. This is the mistake he made, not because of this, but I think he's only going to play 15 minutes or so and then take up his manager's role.
Now, if I attempted something that in my own box while he was manager, I would have known about it.
It was a penalty, actually. He had a hold of Teddy Sheringham's shorts, but it's a little ambitious from Teddy. He was still playing league football at Colchester till last year. Steven Gerrard's here tonight and enjoying himself down on the bench, and at the moment he's alongside Kelly Cates.
Stephen, your mate Cara, assistant manager for the All-Star team. How do you think he's getting on? What have they done to this group of celebrities?
Well, I think he's certainly inspired. Let's see what happens here first. Yeah, he's certainly inspired. I've had a couple of early chances. I'm just waiting for him to get up into the coaching box. Yeah, he's a little bit shy at the moment.
I know he needs to be a bit more like Mike Bassett and be a bit more vocal about it. But as far as the legends are concerned, I mean, can you see what made them great players, even though they may put on a few pounds?
Of course, obviously they're a little bit overweight and they can't move as quick as they used to. But you can still see that they've got, clever brains, and just to be in the changing room before the game was really good for me to be mixing with them. It was really pleasing.
Why was that? Why was it good to be in the changing room with them?
Just because you're around players who've been so successful, top players in the day, and if we can try and emulate these players and be close to as successful as they were, it'd be really good.
But it's not just a case of they're players that you look to emulate and they're players that you look up to. You all get on as well, don't you?
Yeah, of course. That's the best thing about these people. They're not just good footballers and being successful in their careers. They're good people to be around. The banter was flying before the game, and having a laugh and a joke with all of them. And that's the reason why I've come tonight, just to spend time with these people.
Thanks, Stephen.
Cheers. Thank you.
And by the way, Gerrard, overweight will come your way sooner than you think.
I think we can allow him that one. I think he spoke very, very well about all the old boys. And to be honest with you, I think every single one of them regards him as highly as possible as well. And it's great to see him. Congratulations to him on winning the Writers' Player of the Year.
There was a website poll here a couple of years ago, and it produced a top 100 players who shook the cop, the 100 all-time Liverpool heroes. Kenny Dalglish was number 1, and number 2, Steven Gerrard. It's quite a list if I tell you that Alan Hansen, Roger Hunt, Michael Owen and Ray Clemence didn't make the top 10. And He was good, by the way. He was. Almost defined the ball-playing centre-half when he emerged in the late 70s and into the 80s. Graham Stewart's cross. Easy enough for Paul Harrison. I'll just take you through that list just as a matter of interest. Dalglish 1, Gerrard 2, Ian Rush 3, Robbie Fowler 4, John Barnes 5, the great Billy Liddell 6, Jamie Carragher 7, Kevin Keegan 8, Graham Souness 9, and the late Emlyn Hughes 10. The top 10 players, all-time Liverpool players, as voted by Liverpool fans a couple of years ago. Flags up. I think supporters of all clubs enjoy trying to name the greatest all-time 11 for their club. There's some competition here, isn't there?
It just leads to arguments. I mean, believe me, on one or two drunken evenings with the ex-players, we've tried to pick teams as well, and it just leads to rows.
And Ronnie Rosenthal always gets in after a few pints, I've no doubt. One man who won't be in the all-time Liverpool 11 yet, unless he excels tonight, is Craig David, the R&B singer who's waiting to come on as a substitute. He's with Chris.
Yes, Craig is with me now. Craig, you must be itching to get on this pitch.
Itching to get on. But watching Kenny Dalglish spray the ball around, I mean, that in itself is something special, you know. Look at them. If you actually look around just the dugout, I'm in awe of something. I'm sharing in front of Jamie Redknapp over there, or Peter Beardsley. I mean, this is it, right now. It's like I'm in awe of what's going on at Anfield. I just want to get on there and put the ball about. I want to put the ball in the back of the net, to be honest, at the cop end, but let's see how it goes, you know.
But you've got a big reputation to live up to as well. You won the man of the match in the Soccer Aid. Are you expecting that again?
You know, it's not so much about being man of the match, to be honest. To get the opportunity to go on for the charity that this is all about. 20th anniversary for Hillsborough disaster. I mean, the goalkeeper who's in goal for Liverpool, unfortunately his parents were killed in the Hillsborough disaster. So for him to have the opportunity to be in goal when Kenny called him up and said he could play, I mean, that's what this is all about. Do you know what I mean? I'm thankful to actually be playing here today, but at the same time remembering what this is all about. This is a great cause.
Just finally, just very disappointing to hear the music in the dressing room before, and I thought you might have inspired something a bit better than the 80s cheesy pop.
I got in there, I didn't actually hear anything. So I thought it was like silence in there. I thought it was like a whole new sort of like a new mantra that we were kind of like just singing to try and get us in tip. But you know what? If I had my way, the music would have been slightly different, my friend. We would have been all right. Trust me.
Enjoy the game.
Thank you, man.
I walked past the Liverpool dressing room on my way up to the commentary position, and blasting out was "Turn Your Love Around" by George Benson. It's that early 80s.
Well, that's a new one on me. I mean, Sammy Lee, my time here, often picked the music, and he was a big fan of Chris Rea, and I don't know what it is, but I love it, was often sung.
John Aldridge trying to find Ray Houghton. Well, there's a very famous story from the 1984 European Cup final when Liverpool played Roma in Rome, in the Olympic Stadium, where Manchester United will face Barcelona very soon. And it was an obviously nervy night for the Liverpool players, taking on Roma in their own backyard in front of a very hostile crowd. And when they lined up outside the Roma dressing room, story is that David Hodgson and Michael Robinson, two of the substitutes, started singing that song by Chris Rea, and the Roma president said afterwards, "We knew they were beaten. Roma knew they were beating them because Liverpool was so relaxed." This is John Aldridge beyond the far post with a header back. So that little rendition of that old Chris Rea song totally spooked the Roma players even before they got out of the dressing room door.
Game needs a goal, Clive, doesn't it?
Paul Bracewell. Nigel Clough's onside. Swept in towards Teddy Sheringham, headed away by Gary Ablett.
I don't know what Hansen's doing, closing down in front of his defence here, or attempting to.
Now Kenny Dalglish will link up with Ian Rush. John Aldridge is forward too. Rush still looks quite lithe. Steve McMahon less so. Here's Dalglish. Crossed in towards Aldridge, and Bobby Mims, I think, left it.
Didn't have much to aim at, really, did he, Kenny? Just Rush and Aldridge.
I think that was a sign of surrender from Kenny Dalglish, but we're going to see a couple of substitutions for the All-Stars team, and Alan Shearer will take the field. Bradley Walsh has gone off. And we're going to see the arrival of the second celebrity as Nigel Clough trots away. DJ Spoonie, aka Jonathan Joseph, who is a Liverpool fan, will come on. The ex-Radio 1 DJ now can be heard on the 5 Live phone-in, 606. That's what he looks like. Des Walker. Teddy Sheringham starts a bit too much of Paul Bracewell. Gary Ablett stepped in. Kenny Dalglish, Steve Staunton.
A chance for Alan Shearer to score against Alan Hansen. He'll be dying for that.
Diabolical. Ablett. I think the suggestion was that Alan Hansen wasn't going to play for too long, so I think Shearer has pleaded with Ricky Tomlinson to put him on before Hansen goes off. Here's Gary Gillespie. Driven into Kenny Dalglish, little flick for Ian Rush. Oh, what a shame.
Well, that conjures up a few memories from the past. Great ball in from Gillespie as well.
For red-faced, the Liverpool Legends manager. Here's Alan Shearer. In towards Stewart, also reunited with Teddy Sheringham in attack, the SAS. Crossed in by Bracewell, away by Gillespie. Ray Houghton, Steve McMahon. Ian Rush trying to time his run. It's John Aldridge, though, who's in here. Aldridge for Liverpool, terrific save by Bobby Mims. It was Ian Rush who tried to slide it in and couldn't quite make contact. Marvellous save there by Bobby Mims.
He read it. Wonderful by Mims. And a cracking little ball from Steve McMahon to get John Aldridge through. I thought he was going to just dink it over him for a moment, but the goalkeeper read it wonderfully well.
Here's Teddy Sheringham. Trevor Stephen. Back in towards Sheringham. Back to Alan Shearer. Yeah, it's about 28 rows up the Kop.
I think Hansen's enjoying that as well. He's just said something to him, just to kind of wind them up a little bit, I think. They're smiling between them. I mean, again, I thought Teddy Sheringham could have gone it his own way for a moment. Nice little ball back, and he's just had a lash at it. And this is the ball through for John Aldridge moments before he has gone for the ding, just not quite high enough. And Rushy slipped.
Power, pace, touch, technique. Not. McMahon. Here's Trevor Stephen. There are 4 Liverpool substitutes stripped off at the moment, which is a bit drastic. Viv Anderson to DJ Spoonie. Intercepted by Steve Staunton. Kenny Dalglish, little touch off for Ian Rush. Foul by the DJ. I recognise a few of these. Peter Beardsley, Jan Morby, Michael Thomas. Mark Lawrenson will replace Alan Hansen. Kenny Dalglish is coming off too. Familiar faces on our television screens, but truly great players, Hansen and Dalglish.
Also coming up is number 4, Gary Gillespie, to be replaced by number 12, Jan Morby.
Steve McMahon giving way to Jan Morby.
And number 11, Steve McMahon is being replaced by number 17, Peter Beardsley.
Must be a little jet lagged after his trip halfway around the world to be here.
Replacing number 7, Trevor Stephen, is 22, Jonathan Wilkes.
And Jonathan Wilkes, the actor, is on in place of Trevor Stephen on the left for the All-Stars team. No goals yet. Here's Jan Morby. John Aldridge. Ray Houghton. Ronnie Whelan. A bit of space here for Michael Thomas down at the end where he scored that famous goal, infamous at these parts. It will be hit by Ray Houghton. He controlled that pretty well.
That's quite a good strike, actually, with his left foot as well, Ray Houghton. Michael Thomas just managed to stay on side. There's a good dink in. Beardsley misses it. He's come onto it beautifully, struck it ever so well, but again, just a little high from Ray Houghton. That was one hell of a Liverpool team as well, Clive. I mean, on a personal note, I'd suffered my injury by then, but I always would have loved to play with Beardsley, Barnes, who's not here tonight, Aldridge, Rush. Phenomenal, 87, 88 and onwards.
All the players met at a hotel in the city centre today, and there was a video running in the restaurant where they were eating a lot of the great Liverpool goals from that era, just trying to unnerve the visiting team. Some wonderful, wonderful goals. Ronnie Whelan, who captained that Liverpool team at Wembley in '89, to Jan Morby. Here's Peter Beardsley. Morby. Now Ray Houghton. Some fresh legs of renewed Liverpool. Here's Rush with a header down. Aldridge with a hook towards goal.
Nice combination again. Steve Staunton whipped a couple of good balls in from that left side, and that's another one. And Rushy does the right thing and trying to pick out his partner. Difficult one for John Aldridge. Mims not troubled.
We've just been waiting for Kenny Dalglish to get his breath back, and who better speak to him than his daughter.
So do you think that the substitutions have made a difference?
I definitely think the pace of the game's increased since we came off, or since Zach came off anyway. But it's fantastic for the people to turn up and watch the game. You can see the boys get a wee bit frustrated. They know they send a message to the feet, but it doesn't quite get there, does it?
How did you find it out there?
The bit I was standing in was lovely, Kelly.
You didn't travel too far. How was it playing with Rushy again, though? Is it like the years have never passed?
Rushy and Aldo, it's just the same. Aldo's he's similar to Rushy. His movement's really good, and they're always looking to get in behind somebody. So the only problem was we couldn't find the pass to get in behind them for them.
But what have you made of the atmosphere here tonight as well?
It's brilliant, isn't it? I mean, it's a Thursday night. Really eternally grateful to the people that have turned up to watch the game, and the boys that have come to play. And they're trying their best to put on as good a show as they possibly can. So we've softened up the opposition. Now it's the young ones. It's Jamie Redknapp, Steve McMenamin, Don Hutchison, Gary McAllister to go on and win the game for us.
Have you put a bit of pressure on them then?
Well, not really, but Big Hansen and Gillespie are doing a bit of rabbit in there because they held out England's two centre forwards.
Not bad for two Scots.
No, that's what they were saying. It's the first time Scotland's had a shutout for a while.
Thanks very much.
There's been some talk recently of him maybe getting an official role with the club again. He's always a part of the furniture here, and always welcome and a regular at a lot of Liverpool's home games. But there's some talk of Rafa Benitez giving him a more established role. Morby to Beardsley. And Bobby Mims falls on it.
That's the thing about Kenny, he's got massive respect throughout the game, not just here in Merseyside and at Anfield, and the regard from all professional footballers for him is tremendous.
I think a lot of that respect built up in the immediate aftermath of the disaster when he became such a wonderful ambassador and leader of men, really. It was he who set the tone for everything that the club did in their attempts to comfort the families. It was his decision as to when Liverpool played again, and he was far more than a manager at that time in those very difficult weeks.
He was exceptional back then, Clive, and there's no training for that sort of tragedy, and he was absolutely brilliant.
Ronnie Whelan in towards John Aldridge. It's good save by Mims. Ian Rush! Another to add to his live total. And the club's record goal scorer gobbles up another. Bobby Mims did what he did to keep out John Aldridge, but so many have tried and failed to keep out Ian Rush.
Well, he was involved in just laying it back to Jan Molby. Ronnie Whelan has just allowed a little bit of time to get the cross in, and it's a wonderfully floated ball, far post. Aldridge with the diving header. Bobby Mims, I think, does well to get a hand to it, but unfortunately for him, it's just gone straight into the incoming Ian Rush, into his path, and it's a simple task for him, and that brings back memories of '86 when Rush stuck a couple past Mims in the cup final at Wembley.
Well, he was the scourge of Everton in his Liverpool days. Nobody has scored more goals in Merseyside derby matches than Ian Rush. Nobody has scored more goals in FA Cup finals than Ian Rush. Nobody has scored more goals in the League Cup than Ian Rush. Nobody scored more goals in the FA Cup in the 20th century than Ian Rush. And as well as being Liverpool's record goal scorer, he is Wales's record goal scorer.
Oh, he's one of the best I've ever played with as well. And I mean, okay, what you mentioned is all there. We know about his record, but you know, he was great if you were having an off day, the passing wasn't quite right. With his pace, he could just knock one over the top. He'd get on it, he'd get us up the pitch, and we could go and play from there.
Sheringham, that's not far away. Good cross from DJ Spoonie.
That's fantastic ball in from DJ Spoonie. I mean, he's given a lot of room. He could have taken it on, decides to go for the cross, and he couldn't have picked out his man any better. I think Teddy will just be a little disappointed with himself for not keeping that below the crossbar.
Shearer. Anderson. Bracewell. Shearer. Sheringham. Alan Shearer couldn't resist, blocked by Steve Staunton. Out as far as Jonathan Wilkes. Decent cross, Shearer's waiting. Important header by Mark Lawrenson. Beardsley. It's clipped behind John Aldridge, he might just catch up with it. It's done well. Staunton. Beardsley. Staunton's gone on. And Spoonie, who provided a fine cross at one end, is back there covering at the other. He's been a Liverpool fan for 30 years, DJ Spoonie here. He can't for the life of him remember why. He comes from Hackney, for goodness sake, London. I guess Liverpool were the team of the time. There's a particular thrill for him. A couple of the celebrities here are big Liverpool fans. Dean Lennox Kelly, you'll see later, the actor. It's a real dream come true for him.
No surprise to see an awful lot going through Molby now.
Houghton to Staunton.
Would have been lovely. I mean, there's been some cracking little runs in behind the All-Stars defence.
Two substitutions for the All-Stars.
And good little balls, picking them out.
Off comes Paul Bracewell, who's involved in a business venture with Kenny Dalglish these days, setting up academies around the country. Alan Stubbs is on the Everton coaching staff. Takes his place. And we're going to see Craig David, who we were hearing from a moment or so ago. He'll take over from Graham Stewart. Craig David's great moment at the Soccer Aid match at Wembley was when he came shoulder to shoulder with Jaap Stam and sent him sprawling to the Wembley turf. One of the surreal moments of that particular occasion. Shearer to Wilkes.
That was a very assured start for Craig David as well. Getting hold of it under a bit of pressure and playing in Shearer.
There's Johnny Wilkes. Teddy Sheringham. Alan Stubbs. Oh, beautifully struck. He's left-footed, isn't he, Alan Stubbs?
he fizzed that. Well, again, somebody who's not long finished, and he's still got that power. Sometimes with age, you lose the power in the kicking muscle. Not Alan Stubbs. That's a very good attempt. He had Paul Harrison stretching there. He had him worried for a moment.
I think he might even have played senior football right at the start of this season. Certainly his retirement, which was because of a knee problem, was towards the start of the season that's just completed. So at 37, he should be one of the brighter sparks out there. Viv Anderson, I think, was the oldest player in the All-Stars team at kick-off. There's Jonathan Wilkes. By Michael Thomas. Who needs pace? Beardsley.
You know, in training, Peter Beardsley was so clever. You go to close him down, and he'd play a 1-2 off your legs, and he'd be gone again. I don't think he quite meant that, though.
He tried to play one off his own legs, I think, there. Stubbs. It's a little bit long. Plenty more live football to come in this season on ITV with the UEFA Cup final between Shakhtar Donetsk of Ukraine and Werder Bremen, and then a week later live coverage from Rome of the Champions League final starting at 7 o'clock on ITV1. It's Wednesday the 27th of May. Aldridge, Beardsley. Still John Aldridge. He's on the corner.
That might have been headed, that, you know. He's hit that with the outside of his right foot, John Aldridge, trying to get that bend on it.
Ian Rush waits as Beardsley and Whelan trying to work something out here. Staunton, Michael Thomas into the box. Steve Staunton. DJ Spinney playing a 1-2 off the back of Viv Anderson's heels. Clever. Dave Watson. Alan Stubbs. Craig David caught in possession by Michael Thomas, and here's Ian Rush. Jan Bowlby just teasing Mark Lawrenson. No flag. Alan Shearer's onside. Got support from Jonathan Wilkes and from Teddy Sheringham. Craig David's getting there too. It's Alan Shearer. He's only ever going to go for goal himself. He's run a corner kick.
Yeah.
He's lost Alan Hansen to attack, but he's got Mark Lawrenson instead.
I think he'd made his mind up instantly. You know, he had Wilkes inside, he had Craig David, Teddy Sheringham far post, but no. Went for it.
Steve Hodge. Alan Stubbs will retrieve it. Just trying to coax it onto the head of Dave Watson.
Or Rushy closing down. We used to see that in the old days. Always close from the front, defender from the front. He was one of the best at it.
Here comes Tim Lovejoy.
Players could have done without this rain as well. Just quickens the surface, makes it a bit slicker. Unwanted.
It's exactly what they used to want about 20, 30 years ago, but not anymore. Jan Bowlby just stroking the ball around still. Ronnie Whelan. John Aldridge. You know, Liverpool have got a reputation of being one of the great passing teams down the years. I wonder if they've ever had a better pass of the ball than Jan Bowlby.
You know, I roomed at him once, Clive, and he said to me, night before the game, he said, there's no point in just playing for the best team. It's about being the best player in the best team. And he was at times for Liverpool.
Jonathan Wilkes with a cross. Gary Ablett deals with it. Yeah, confidence wasn't a problem for Jan.
He's not the shy and retiring type, no.
Peter Beardsley. Always gone for a chip. That was a great idea. His brain's still working.
Classic Beardsley. Always a lively imagination. Always saw something nice and early. And once he got in position, he just noticed Bobby Mims just slightly off his line and thought it was on. Nearly.
Substitution.
Tim Lovejoy, 18. Gethin Jones, the former Blue Peter presenter, is 21. And a couple of really, really fine midfield players from Liverpool's past. Jamie Redknapp coming on, and Gary McAllister. Jamie Redknapp, number 18. Ray Houghton leaving the field.
Number 10, Ray Houghton, coming on for him is number 20, Gary McAllister.
There's Gary McAllister. He was the Leeds United manager until December.
Also coming on for the Legends to be replaced by number 21, Gethin Jones.
Gethin Jones, the television presenter, is on for Liverpool, and for the All-Stars, Tim Lovejoy, Chelsea fan.
Also coming on for the All-Stars tonight is Tim Lovejoy, number 18.
Alan Stubbs.
Replacing number 10, Teddy Sheringham.
I thought he might get a bit of that, being a Chelsea fan.
There's DJ Spooney. DJ Spooney to Alan Shearer. Doesn't happen very often, that, does it? Oh, Mark Lawrenson. Decided to chest the ball back to his goalkeeper and then thought better of it.
But again, Loro, I mean, he was always great on the recovery. Usually it was his pace and a great sliding tackle. That wasn't his greatest touch, but he recovered very well.
Not so much his pace as his panic that time. Got him out of trouble.
Craig David's keen, by the way.
It's Johnny Wills who takes the corner. Oh, it's a header from Viv Anderson. It wasn't far away, that.
He just got in there, just between Gary Ablett and I think Mulby. It's a good run front post from Viv Anderson. Just timed it well. Just couldn't quite hang there long enough.
You know, not only was he a part of the Nottingham Forest team that rather unseated Liverpool, he was in the Arsenal side that beat Liverpool in the League Cup final in 1987, and then he joined Manchester United, so it's quite a CV to bring to Anfield, just about all their main rivals.
Oh, what a player. As composed as they come, Viv Anderson. Beautiful fullback, great footballer.
Great David, in your dreams. Bend one round the goalkeeper at the Kop end, done.
Well, I told you he was keen, but just a little over anxious then, maybe.
He's taking it so seriously, you know.
He's obviously not too upset with the scoreline.
Jim Royal, Bobby Grant, Mike Bassett, Ricky Tomlinson, all one and the same man. Here's Jamie Redknapp. And up by Dave Watson. Tim Lovejoy. Craig David. DJ Spooney. Tim Lovejoy now to Dave Watson. Des Walker. Johnny Wilkes has found some space out on that left-hand side. Good clean kicker of the ball. It's well saved though by Paul Harrison.
He looks unfazed. I mean, it's a big night for him as well, playing in this sort of company. That was confident.
Well, Ricky Tomlinson was very, very pleased with the start that his team had made. I wonder what the update is from him.
Okay then, Mike Bassett, 1-0 down, but you've got him on the rack.
Oh, we've got him on the rack. It's gone perfectly well. My mistake, I've got to take the blame for this. I told him to wear dry weather studs, and as you can see, the weather's turned against us and it's wet. But we're nearly into half-time. It's only 4 minutes to go to half-time. They've been changing their studs, and I tell you what, you're going to see a different picture here in the second half. I'm very, very pleased with the performance. Some of them are starting to really flag. They've even got the St John's ambulance lads on standby, so watch this space.
Thanks very much.
The slick tyres are coming off at half-time. Actually, on a serious note, here's a little bit of space for Alan Shearer. I was talking to the Liverpool club doctor before the game, who is here on duty. I think he serves with the England team too. He's very respected within the business, and he is the most terrified man inside the stadium this evening. All sorts of things could go wrong with players at this age.
Well, that was a big chance. I mean, we saw Teddy Sheringham have a header chance earlier. Not the easiest, and he just seemed to get himself in an awkward position, Alan Shearer. I fancied him then.
He's had a big week. Jamie Redknapp into the path of Gethin Jones. Gary McAllister, I think a miscontrol rather than a return pass. It's pretty fit, Gethin Jones. He's from good Welsh rugby stock. We've seen him in the Soccer Aid game. So the Liverpool legends leading with a goal from Ian Rush as we approach the half-time interval. We'll have all sorts of fun and games for you and access to dressing rooms and words with breathless legends. Behind you, Mark Lawrenson to Michael Thomas. You've got to pass it to feet. I think the ball played just in front of somebody is no longer on at this age.
Yeah, you're spot on. It's hard to adjust. It'd be difficult enough for footballers of the day, but you know, when you've added 20 years to it, then when you've got a very quick pitch, it's tough.
DJ Spoonie has already distinguished himself, finding Viv Anderson. Oh, it's a lovely return ball. Spoonie finds Anderson, and surely a goal. Oh, off the post, Tim Lovejoy. Cop end. How many more chances in your life are you going to get to score at the Cop end, Tim Lovejoy, or was that it?
By the way, judging by the shot of the manager, I think he could be getting hauled off here, certainly a dressing down at half-time. Great little ball from DJ Spoonie. Viv Anderson does the right thing. It's all there, just put it in the net, Tim. And he's missed his big moment. Did you say, Clive, Cop end and all?
Yeah, we'll just bleep that bit. I mean, that is a moment that you take with you for the rest of your life, don't you? I mean, he will be boring his grandchildren one night. By the time he is a grandfather, it will probably have gone in. But what a chance.
I mean, maybe there's still time for him yet, but had that gone in, I think it'd be tough being his mate for the next couple of weeks. I think you'd hear about it a bit.
Jan Morby. Ian Rush. You know, I played on this ground once in front of 50-odd thousand at half-time in Tommy Smith's testimonial, 1977, a few days after Liverpool had won the European Cup. And I had a chance at the Anfield Road end, and it's still bouncing down the road somewhere. But Ian Rush has taken the chance, which gives Kenny Dalglish's team the lead. Tim Lovejoy will have the same memory that I have of the chance that got away at Anfield. We will be back with far more fun and far more sweat after the break. Liverpool Legends 1, All Stars 0.
The Legends are lapping it up. They are knackered, actually, to be fair to them. They certainly look it. But they've put in a good show so far. Fans enjoying it. Jan looks fresh as a daisy.
It's because he hasn't moved
There's
yet.
the bell. Mike Bassett taking the coat off for the moment. I think he's been putting it right up there in All Stars. Getting them fired up for the second half. He's gone to check if anyone's still here to watch. Jim, your old teammate, your old boss, Mr. Dalglish, he still looks the part at times.
He does, yeah. You can just see the way he kind of has a feel for the space, and he just, that little bit of movement, and he gets himself in position to be picked out. And a couple of times when he was getting on it as well, you could see, again, like the old days, Rush and Aldridge would split their runs.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, not on that occasion, but you can see the old days, Kenny trying to pick out Ian Rush, that classic combination.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's another good ball, and he carries on. Gets up in support. Rushy looks for him again. Here he is now.
Yeah.
Kenny, see the movements there, that cleverness, that'll never go away, and he's just unfortunately overhit the little cross.
Absolutely. But as you rightly said, was wise enough to get himself on early and off even earlier.
That ball back from Rushy, had that one come off and he found the target, the place would have erupted.
And not an entirely surprising state of affairs that when Alan Shearer missed, he got a little dig in the ribs from Alan Hance.
He did. I mean, you knew there'd be a banter between two of them. They were together so long, of course. On Match of the Day.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
This is a good little ball back from Teddy Sheringham, and Hansen standing right beside him when it falls to him, and he decides to go at it first time. The header as well. That was a good chance. Got in an awkward position, really, and this is another one that's deflected. He made his mind up early, but he's dangerous. He looks dangerous for me. He's in with a chance of registering.
He's had a tough couple of weeks at Anfield.
He has.
He got it from the cop again about should have stayed on the telly. Teams, as you can see, re-emerging for the second half. Jim will rejoin Clive for that.
Just a little word about a couple of great former Liverpool players from a slightly different era, from the 60s. FIFA have announced this week that Ian Callaghan and Jerry Byrne are to get World Cup winners' medals. It's part of an initiative to give additional medals to players who are in the squads of the winning teams before 1974. So Ralph Ramsey didn't get one in 1966, but that's two really great guys, Ian Callaghan and Jerry Byrne. And that team, the team of Ron Yates and Ian St John company, is Roger Hunt, is as well remembered in these parts as the 70s and 80s sides that we've seen represented here tonight. Jan Molby, very much a part of the team of the mid-80s, trying to link with John Aldridge. Ian Rush's goal separates the two teams at half-time. I'm not sure we'll be seeing him again. Well, let's see what Mike Bassett has done to inspire the men in white. This is Alan Irvine, the current Preston manager, who's a former Everton player. First we've seen of him this evening. Won by Gary McAllister for John Aldridge. Don Hutchinson is number 15 for Liverpool on the field. First time we've seen of him. This is Jamie Redknapp. Trying to curl it. Went the wrong way. See the funny side of it. He's still got management ambitions, Jamie Redknapp. I spent a bit of time with him in his dad on Monday, and he's enjoys his television work, but here's Alan Irvine. DJ Spoonie. Ooh, I'll tell you what, he looks a player. Tim Lovejoy didn't look a finisher. Alan Irvine. Here's Jonathan Wilkes. Not quite on the same wavelength as Craig David that time. No, England managers do not hide under umbrellas. Just hammers on. Not a volley. It is a brolly.
I'm going to take back what I said to Matt before. Have you got any spare oxygen?
It's about 14 stories from where Jim Beglin has been talking at half-time to where he's going to talk to you now. I should make him speak continuously for the next 5 minutes. This is Mike Newell, current manager of Grimsby, who's on, former Everton player, passing to Craig David here. The All-Star celebs have been good. Not sure that was ever going to happen.
He's tried a couple of times from range, but did you see the burst from Lovejoy again there? I mean, okay, the cop end is gone now. He's got no chance of rectifying that, but I think the Anfield Road end would do.
Could score an own goal. Don Hutchison, one of the younger breed. Jan Molby to Michael Thomas. Hutchison lets it run, gets it from John Aldridge. Des Walker forcing the ball out of trouble. Steve Hodge. Jonathan Wilkes. Tim Lovejoy's making that run again, hopefully. Gethin Jones has gone all the way back with him. Spoonie keeps it in for Alan Irvine. It's behind Lovejoy. Jamie Redknapp and Jan Molby, two very elegant midfield players, tidy up. Don Hutchison. It's Peter Beardsley. Hutchison just turned 38 this week, so he should be one of the more sprightly players out there. Here's Jamie Redknapp. Beardsley. Hutchison. Jamie Redknapp's only 35. It's Hutchison's cross. John Aldridge is offside. So Bobby Mims' save, and all this is to nothing.
I think that might have been a penalty had the whistle not gone. Very tight, but he's probably just jutting out enough for the assistant to spot it.
I don't start calling the lines, but they're giving their services for nothing tonight, all right?
No, listen,
there's an amnesty this evening, OK?
I think the assistant's spot on. Aldridge should have been more careful. Didn't he take it well? I mean, I know Bobby Mims has made the save, but I think he probably just had to stretch a bit too much.
Yeah, I think he's hurt his groin. Here's Jan Molby. Jamie Redknapp, why not? That's a good save from Bobby Mims. Gary McAllister thought about following up.
Lovely, lovely strike. But again, Mulvey, just the feed, just stood off him a little bit. Why not? And it's a nice height for Bobby Mims. Probably could have done with just a shade more pace.
Mike Newell. Here's Gary Ablett. He's on the staff here at Liverpool these days. Gary Ablett looks after the reserve team. Jan Mulvey. He's not a whole lot bigger than he was in his playing prime, you know. And Gary McAllister. Mark Lawrence, a little 1-2 with Don Hutchison. Well, it was a 1 and 2 didn't quite happen. That's the perils of being the England manager with an umbrella. He can get it up, he can't get it down. Phil Thompson trying to help him.
It's not that bad, is it? I thought he didn't want to look for a moment.
I think you can see through his glasses it's raining now. Here's Tim Lovejoy. Craig David. Jonathan Wilkes. Alan Irvine. Otherwise by Gary Ablett. Hutchison first to it. Des Walker looks like he could step back into the England team tomorrow. I swear he's not going to pick on him. It's extraordinary, really. I mean, he is a man now of, what, 43 years of age.
Always so athletic and wonderful pace as well, Des Walker. I mean, you know, great weapon for a centre-back. Get after pacey centre-forwards, and I mean, he could shift with the best of them.
Will never beat Des Walker. Gary McAllister to John Aldridge. Jamie Redknapp. Here's Don Hutchison. No flag. Gary McAllister. Chance for John Aldridge. Cop end. Just like he used to do. Much to the delight of his old manager. Liverpool lead by 2-0. Rush and Aldridge. Sound familiar?
And it was coming. Liverpool have been pretty dominant since the second half started, and I think that picture says it all. Now, was the run from Gary McAllister onside? I'm not sure, you know. He might have been just a fraction off, but no criticism for the assistant. It was a tough one. Don Hutchison just slipped it through, but great awareness from Gary McAllister once he got in the position. He didn't ask the questions, just picked out John Aldridge, let him do the rest with a nice little diving header. Never going to miss from there.
Don't tell Ricky Tomlinson that Gary McAllister was offside. It's a goal. Look in the book. And here comes Steve McManaman. They're getting younger, the Liverpool substitutes. And that's Nicky Byrne, the Westlife singer, who's going to come on in the Liverpool colours.
To be replaced, John Aldridge.
And that's John Aldridge's last contribution of the evening. Boyhood dream he had to wait for to play for Liverpool, John Aldridge. Kenny Dalglish signed him in 1987, just as he was about to lose Ian Rush to Juventus. As it happened, Rush only stayed a year in Italy and came back, and he and Aldridge were able to play together for a spell. But as part of the story of Hillsborough in the aftermath, the replayed semi-final at Old Trafford featured 2 goals from John Aldridge, which carried Liverpool finally past Nottingham Forest and into that emotional final against Everton, where Aldridge again scored. Jonathan Wilkes to Mike Newell. He was a boyhood Liverpool fan. In fact, he was on the books here until he was 18. Mike Newell, he was released by Liverpool before playing in the first team. Here he comes. Gone far away. Fine striker with Everton and Blackburn Rovers before his management career.
Yeah, listen, I was on the receiving end of a Newell hat-trick at Kenilworth Road, Luton. Well, we lost 4-1 once in a league game, Mike Newell.
And coming off for the All-Stars,
that was a chance. I mean, he'd love that to go in as well, Mike Newell. He's trying for that, believe me.
Well, DJ Spooner's been terrific.
And he's going to be
Not good enough to stay on, obviously. Stuart Barlow, former Everton striker, takes his place. Always had a bit of pace about him. And another All-Star substitute imminent, number 21, Coronation Street's Luke Strong. Craig Kelly will replace the goalless Tim Lovejoy.
He got an equally bad send-off there, didn't he, from the Cup, as his welcome was.
I think in some ways his miss would be more famous than even a goal would have been. It wasn't a sitter. It was not a sitter, and he did strike the outside of the post.
No, but he should have scored.
I think he'll think that himself. And Jan just took a bit of a tumble off the ball, Jan Mulkey. Gary McAllister in towards Steve McManaman. Ooh, Dave Watson couldn't cut it out. McManaman. Rolling back the years a little bit, but he's also rolled the ball over the touchline. Well, his old partner in crime, Robbie Fowler, was due to play tonight, but Kelly will tell us why he can't.
Robbie, how disappointed are you not to be playing tonight?
Yeah, no, to be fair, I'd love to have played, but I've got a little bit of a strain on my hip flexor, so I don't think my new club would be too happy if I'm turning out here. So obviously disappointed, but I'm sure I'll get a chance in the future to play it again. So
we just saw a little bit of magic from Macca right down in the corner. I don't know if you caught it because we were just getting ready for this. But do you think the younger players can show the older ones a trick or two?
Well, I don't know, to be fair, because obviously your dad was brilliant the first 10-15 minutes, wasn't he? So I think he was showing a few of the young lads, so he still got it anyway. So obviously the likes of Jamie, Macca and Don Hutchins, still young lads, so they're still a little bit fitter than probably the rest of them, but there's still very, very good players out there, isn't it?
Do you think on nights like this, a lot of it is, dads and mums bringing their kids along to say these are the players that I grew up with, that I used to watch?
I think so. Obviously, the younger generation probably wouldn't really know too much about the players on show here, but I should say the older, the mums and the dads will know what great players that are on show here. So the fact is that the turnout's absolutely fantastic as well. So I think that's what it's all about anyway.
And you've scored a few great goals here at Anfield. What did you make of Tim Lovejoy's finishing?
I think he needs to get one of my videos. I think. No, I think he was unlucky, to be fair. He's obviously at the post. But saying that, it was an open goal, so he should have done better. But I don't think he'll live that one down, will he?
Thanks very much, Robbie.
It's Gary Ablett making the goal line clearance to deny Alan Stubbs. Craig David also tested the latest Liverpool goalkeeper, Bob Boulder, in that little spell of pressure while we were hearing from Robbie Fowler, whose nickname here at Anfield was God. That's how highly they thought of him. Nicky Burns' cross toward Hutchison. Robbie's just about to set off to Australia with his family for a couple of years there, playing for a team in Queensland, North Queensland Fury. So a big adventure ahead for the Fowlers in the next couple of years.
Nicky Byrne looks quite tidy as well on the right side for Liverpool.
He was part of the Leeds United team squad that won an FA Youth Cup final. He was actually a goalkeeper back in those days, which was about 5'8". But the 1997 Leeds United Youth Cup winning squad included Nicky Byrne. He looks a bit fed up, doesn't he? It's like he's about to... I mean, if he knew that the second Liverpool goal shouldn't have been allowed, I wonder if we should tell Kelly to tell him. Here's Nicky Byrne. Now Craig Kelly. Playing against his brother in a minute. Dean Lennox Kelly is going to come on presently. Here's Gary McAllister bringing Liverpool forward. Going to slip it in to Jamie Redknapp. Might come for Steve McManaman. Gary McAllister. Smart save by Bobby Mings. But Craig Kelly of Coronation Street fame is now on, and Dean Lennox Kelly of fame is about to come on, and I've been told that they always fight when they're on the field together. Let's see if we can find out a bit more about that.
Dean, Clive Tilsey says that you always fight with your brother when you're on the pitch together. Is that true?
Most of the time, yeah. That's because he won't do as he's told. He won't take direction, you know. Yeah, it seems to happen. But yes, tonight, as we're on opposing ties, we should be a bit more respectful of each other.
Oh, it's only when you're playing together.
It's because I'm the little brother, you see, and he's still trying to dominate me. And you know, Craig's a goal scorer, but he doesn't understand the word team. He's just on his own out there, which is fair enough. Which is why he scored a lot of goals, you know.
But
I'm more like your dad.
A thinker,
yeah. Football brain, you know.
A few yards short in pace, but it's all up in the head.
Mix between Jan Mulby and Kenny Dalglish.
In terms of physique, or?
I had Jan's pace and I had Kenny's mind. You know.
But you've been desperate to get on. I mean, I've watched you. You've been harassing the manager. You've been trying to get on the pitch. How much do you want to do?
I've just got a good feeling. Well, I've just got a good feeling. This is my one and only opportunity to play at Anfield with my heroes. On a night like this, well, you know, my dad's up there, my uncle's up there. I mean, this is it. I've got to go.
Right, you got the call. Good luck.
This is it. I'll see you after.
There you go. We don't often do that, talk to a substitute just before he comes on at Anfield in our live broadcast on ITV, but hurry up, on you go. Don't you warm up? Me? Yeah, Mulby's coming on. John Bishop, the comedian's going to take his place.
Replaced by number 24, John Bishop.
And eventually, Dean Lennox-Kelly, who you've seen in Shameless and The Invisibles and Sorted, big Liverpool fan, is being ready for his entry. Mike Newell's header forward. They've looked quite dangerous in the last 5 minutes or so, the All-Stars, but they trailed 2-0 to goals from Rush and Aldridge. Nicky Byrne. Flicked off Gary Abler. That's terrific from Don Hutchison. Here's Nicky Byrne. And now Michael Thomas and Mark Lawrenson.
Well, he's helped Gary McAllister's cause now that Jan's gone off, because he was kind of shunted out to the left-hand side for Liverpool because Jamie Redknapp and Jan were occupying the central positions. And now he can get back in where he loves.
Here's Stuart Barlow. Crossed in towards Mike Newell. Oh, terrific defending that by Mark Lawrence, so well done. Not once, but twice.
That's superb from Laurel. Great ball in from Stuart Barlow as well.
Here goes Nicky Byrne. Asked a bit too much of Jamie Redknapp. Teddy Sheringham's back out there. There's Craig Kelly. His brother says he never passes. Passes eventually, but too late. Steve McManaman to John Bishop. Shoulder to shoulder, was it? No, Alan Stubbs is penalised. No, I definitely get it now. I think he's caught the referee's attention.
Didn't see
it's a yellow card. He's been given a yellow card. And apparently, Chris Foy, Premier League referee, thought that was a dive. Well, not that, but what followed.
Referee gave it for the second one, you know.
There's Bishop again. That's the place to dive, mate, when you get in the box. Sheringham. Jonathan Wilkes. Oh, Lawrenson is getting better.
He's looking rather good, isn't he, the boy?
What's the rest now? Gary Ablett has given it straight to Stuart Barlow, and here's Mike Newell. Alan Irvine. Graham Stewart. Newell couldn't reach it. Michael Thomas calmly away.
Break on.
Redknapp to Byrne. Steve McManaman available. Jamie Redknapp's got some space, but Teddy Sheringham's back there. It's found a new role, Teddy. Anchorman midfield.
Dean Lennox-Kelly still hasn't got on, by the way, still hovering.
What's going on, Kelly?
Dean, what's going on?
I don't know. I think there's some kind of conspiracy, because have you ever seen this before? This is about 10 minutes gone by and the ball hasn't gone out.
Oh, so you're just waiting for the ball to go out?
Everyone wants me on. Robbie Fowler, everyone. They can all see quality. Look, they all want me on. I don't know what's going on, really.
Is that because they haven't seen you play?
I think they've heard. They've heard I got a nice touch, you know.
But what would it mean for you to get out there and play tonight?
This, I mean, I texted my brother this morning, I said, this could rank amongst one of the greatest nights of our life. And that is I mean that with all my heart. To play here in this strip and come on.
If you get on.
Anything's possible, isn't it? I believe. The dream's alive. I've got half an hour to make my dream come true.
Did you ever think your debut at Anfield would be 20 minutes standing in the rain on the touchline?
No, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right, Dean, thanks very much.
All right, Kelly.
The bad news is the ball went out of play during that interview, but he was talking to Kelly. Steve McManaman. Here's Nicky Byrne. Jamie Redknapp. Might come for John Bishop.
Sheringham again.
Yeah.
This is the first touch for Nicky Byrne. Just got away from him. Just when he was thinking, where should I hit this?
Graham Stewart to Teddy Sheringham. Stuart Barlow on the move. Jonathan Wilkes waiting. Michael Thomas deals with it. Corner kick to the All-Stars.
Surely this is his moment now to get him on.
After the longest wait in football history.
For the Liverpool legends, number 14, Mark Lawrenson.
Mark Lawrenson makes way for Dean Lennox-Kelly. It was Kev in the first couple of wonderful series of Shameless. He was a Manchester City fan in character, but he is a Liverpool fan. Here he is on the ball, Dean Lennox-Kelly. Was that a shot? he might just come off if you're not careful. I wouldn't shout at Ricky Thomas. I wouldn't shout at Kenny Dalglish like that. He'll have him off. Here's Stuart Barlow. Johnny Wilkes was there, but Don Hutchison headed it away.
Twice Wilkes has been denied by Michael Thomas, and now Don Hutchison.
Newell. Corner. Had a look at Chris Foy. His manager had more than a look. Phil Thompson will have a sore right ear tonight, sitting next to Ricky Tomlinson all night. Always hit by the older Kelly. Just over from Craig Kelly.
That's not a bad effort, you know, because he's just had to hit it from a standing position. And Mike Newell, I mean, there's a big shout in the bench, but ball clearly played by Don Hutchison. And do you think Newley was looking for it? He certainly was.
Here's Teddy Sheringham. Last 20 minutes approaching. Now Steve McManaman. Nicky Byrne. It's a foul by Mike Newell. Free kick to Liverpool in a promising position. I wonder if they've worked on free kicks.
Well, he's chased back Newley there because he was the one that lost possession to begin with, so he's trying to make amends.
there's a cue for it, which I think Redknapp and McAllister may be at the front, although Nicky Byrne seems to want to pull rank against two of the finest free kick takers of the modern era. I sing for Westlife. I can score. Let's see if he can. Oh, applause from both Gary McAllister and Jamie Redknapp. Not to say he'll be taking the next one, of course.
Oh, very accomplished. If he just got a little bit of bend on it, then he may have just embarrassed Bobby Mims. It was a lovely, lovely strike.
Well, the All-Stars are in trouble now, trailing to Ian Rush and John Aldridge goals, but they have an assistant manager who knows a thing or two about Anfield recoveries. Let's hear from him.
OK, All-Stars assistant manager Jamie Carragher. Has management changed you?
Yeah, it has. It's different here than playing. A lot easier playing, I think. It's you realise there's not a lot you can do actually when they go over the pitch. But
you used to think it was easy down here in the dugout. Now he understands the pressures.
Yeah, of course.
Now, we must point out you are 2 seats away from greatness here in Mike Bassett. What are you learning from him, this legend?
I've learnt a lot from him. I mean, his team talk was superb at half-time, really. It was a lot of effing and blind, and I thought, yeah, it's a normal, proper team talk, I think. And it hasn't done much good.
Bit different from sitting a couple of seats away from Rafa, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I think he's a lot cooler and calm. I think you didn't see Rafa's like that when he scored, isn't he? So, big difference.
Is there still time to win this one, do you think?
Yeah, I just want us to get a goal. The away goal, because we're away from home here, so we've got the away goal, and, maybe a return game, you never know. So we just want to make sure the lads get a goal, and our fans haven't come tonight, so just give our lads on the bench something to cheer about.
Nice one. Cheers, Jamie.
I think the second leg is taking place in a Liverpool hotel starting around about 11 o'clock tonight, and I'm not sure that away goals really will count when the bar opens. Here's Teddy Sheringham. Stuart Barlow. He's asked a lot of Craig Kelly, and Gary Ablett saw that well.
There's commitment for you.
Nicky Byrne. Steve McManaman arriving. Nicky Byrne has dreamt of scoring a wonder goal here tonight, and he's determined to realise his dream.
I think the pace of the pass should have told him that McManaman didn't really want him to strike it. It was there to be controlled. Shame. I think he's made a difference, to the All-Star second half, Stuart Barlow. He's given him an outlet down that side. He's whipped some good crosses in, which haven't quite found Wilkes' far post.
Those of you who are watching in the Merseyside area may have read in the build-up to this game that Paul Gascoigne was going to be a part of tonight's match. He's broken a bone in his foot on a Harley-Davidson. It's a long story. Here's Mike Newell. Stuart Barlow. Handed away by John Bishop. Good one too. Nicky Byrne now. They've got men over here. Got Dean Lennox-Kelly up with him. Jamie Redknapp's there too. Here is Dean Kelly. Graham Stewart intercepted. Here's Craig Kelly. Tried to slip it into Teddy Sheringham, but Don Hutchison saw it coming. Here's Dean Lennox-Kelly.
Now, it's very much a case of the All-Stars. You're defending on your own now. Nobody's really getting back.
Alan Stubbs is there. There's not much of a midfield anymore.
No, it's basketball now, isn't it?
You attack, we'll attack. Here's Johnny Wilkes. Rolled in, Teddy Sheringham. Stuart Barlow. Now Sheringham's got a shooting chance, surely. He's gone for a clip. Oh, it's a brilliant goal from Teddy Sheringham. Just lofted it over Bob Boulder. Lovely finesse. You can see the funny side of it. Better younger goalkeepers than he have been beaten by the artistry of Teddy Sheringham.
This is just great touch, great vision. It's not easy to do this. I mean, he had a couple of chances where he maybe could have struck it, but once he decides to just kind of slip it by his man, that is beautiful. That's not easy to execute. That would be acclaimed if he did that in a Champions League match or something today. Superb from Teddy Sheringham. Superb.
Well, they've been part of the ITV panel in Rome for the Champions League final on May the 27th. Our live coverage of that will include the views of Teddy Sheringham, and that's why one of the best. That's for the cop from a former Manchester United player.
I don't think he quite got the reaction he wanted.
Yeah, you should see his car when he gets back to it. Here's Gary McAllister. In towards John Bishop, and Alan Stubbs manages to head it back into the hands of his goalkeeper rather than into the back of his own net.
Just as well he was a bit lively, Bobby Mims, because it was on target in the end from Alan Stubbs. I think it had a little more pace than he thought. He's in an awkward position. Keeper as well.
Byrne to McAllister. And then it's Kelly finding only Johnny Wilkes. Michael Thomas with the challenge. Mark Lawrence has got his breath back, and he's with Kelly now.
Mark, have you got your breath back?
I have actually, I felt all right, but I've had about 4 drinks of that, 4 bottles of that Lucozade stuff. I'll probably be up to about 7:30 in the morning. Be able to do the paper round.
Does that mean you'll be on good form at the party as well?
Well, I'm not sure about that. I've got my kids with me, so how late I can keep them out, basically. But yeah, we're going to turn up anyway. But I'll tell you what, it's fantastic. As we're having to stand out now for Hillsborough, the crowd have been sensational. The numbers on our not horrible night have been great.
And what they like to play in front of, it's quite a warm crowd, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think one of the things is they like to see the old players, don't they? Because they've had some great players down the years and some great teams, but they remember everybody. I think the reception for every player has been outstanding.
Who caused you problems on the pitch tonight?
I caused myself loads of problems. I didn't need anybody else, Kelly, to cause. I'm just glad Shearer cleared off and went back up the A1 to Newcastle. It was a bit too quick for me.
Is there anyone who surprised you tonight? In a good way?
Well, your dad lasted 20 minutes, so I suppose that's not bad. I think the lad from Westlife, Nicky Byrne, he looks like he's played the game before. He looks quite good, actually. Hopefully he can get a goal for us.
For us?
Yeah, Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I was playing for Liverpool, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I had to remind myself.
Just checking.
Thanks.
Mark, thanks very much.
Thank you.
The spontaneous applause and songs are in response to the cop breaking up into a rendition of Justice for the 96, which is a continuing cause in these parts and elsewhere too. Just a reminder that tonight is happening as a mark of the 20th anniversary of the Hillsborough disaster, although the proceeds for this evening will go to a charitable cause. You can find out more about that charitable cause, the Marina Dalglish appeal, on our website itv.com/football, and I'll tell you all about Marina Dalglish and her appeal to raise £5 million of the £15 million needed for a new radiotherapy unit at the University Hospital in Aintree here on Merseyside. Bradley Walsh coming back on. And so to DJ Spoonie.
Also coming off is number 21, Craig Lennox. Kelly's going to be replaced by number 20, DJ Spoonie.
Craig Kelly giving way to DJ Spoonie in the All-Stars team.
Well, they had a slowish start to the second half. Liverpool got their second goal, but Teddy Sheringham has lifted the spirits a bit, and I think the All-Stars fancy they might just be able to get back on level terms before the end of this now.
Stand Up for the 96 is now the song, and everybody inside Anfield is doing just that in memory of those who died at the semi-final in 1989.
Well, if the files are made available, Clive, I think there's going to be more news to come in the near future, and I wish them well.
Certainly Andy Burnham seems to be pushing for that to happen sooner rather than later. There's a continuing backdrop here on Merseyside, and the families of those who perished at the game are well represented this evening. I was working here on Merseyside at the time, and it was a tragedy that just seemed to touch everybody in the area. Somebody knew, everybody seemed to know somebody who hadn't come back. There was a teenager who so badly wanted to be a football commentator, who we showed around the radio studios that I worked at in Liverpool. Ian Whelan, who was amongst those who died. Here's Jamie Redknapp. Gethin Jones to Steve McManaman. Trying to curl it round Bobby Mins, who was having none of it.
Well, when we played up at Celtic a couple of years back, Doug Lees watched McManaman curl one in the top corner for a 2-2 draw that night. I thought for a moment he might have pulled it off again. But I think what Kenny and Marina have done as well, after Marina's bout of cancer, I think is absolutely fantastic. They didn't have to do it, but Kenny's reputation and Marina's dedication has resulted in some incredible fundraising.
The original target was £1.5 million. That led to the centre for the opening of a centre for oncology a couple of years ago at Aintree, and the oncology, the study of cancers and tumours. And now they've gone to try to build a new radiotherapy unit at the hospital. Over across the face of goal is a good one from Stuart Barlow, well dealt with by Dom Hutchison. Now Teddy Sheringham, Graham Stewart, Nigel Clough. Not quite sure what happens if the All-Stars do equalise. I don't think there's much left in the tank for a penalty shootout. I think it will just be an honourable draw.
I think Lovejoy would want to shoot out.
I'd just forgotten about his miss until you reminded me. Thanks for that. Just keep doing that. Stuart Barlow. Nigel Clough just trying to pull it across the face of goal. Michael Thomas wasn't quite sure what to do. He was staring into the eyes of his goalkeeper, so he's conceded a corner down at the end where he scored that goal. Didn't miss that night, did he? Alan Irvin's cross. Oh my God. Still a chance. That's a terrific save by Bob Boulder. Really good save. Gary Abler hooked it away. Sheringham's shot beaten away. Now Liverpool got 3-on-1 here. And Dean Lennox-Kelly has got a chance to score at the Kop end. Big moment for the Liverpool fan. Too big. Just running away from him.
I think he knew he had to do it that way. He had to try and just slide and get there before Des Walker, because his pace was making up the ground. And Dean Lennox-Kelly. That was a very good save from Bob Boulder before. Once it just comes out here, it's Teddy Sheringham who kind of cuts across it. Excellent stop, and Gary Ablett follows up, and the break was on from there.
Didn't see a lot of first-team football in his couple of years as an understudy to Bruce Grobbelaar, but Bob Boulder has a European Cup winners medal. He was on the bench in '84. Some very, very good players who haven't got a European Cup winners medal. Here's Teddy Sheringham. That's Liverpool passing their way out of trouble. Careful.
The dog leash chant is echoing from the Kop now.
More live football still to come in this wonderful season on ITV. The UEFA Cup final first from Istanbul, Shakhtar Donetsk versus Werder Bremen, and then a week later from Rome, live from 7 o'clock on ITV1 that night, the 27th of May. The Champions League final is live on ITV1. And Stuart Barlow. Well, keep that in. DJ Spooney. Teddy Sheringham. A bit strong from Alan Stubbs. Tim Lovejoy's coming back on, Mike Newell's coming back on, Ian Rush, Kenny Dalglish, Steve Staunton.
Number 14, Mike Newell replaces number 15, Stuart Barlow for the All-Stars.
One former Everton player replacing another.
Did really well, Stuart Barlow. He gave them legs, gave them some life, and got them up the pitch, the All-Stars second half.
The old boys are coming back on here for Liverpool. And Tim Lovejoy acknowledging as usual is now customary.
Coming back on for the Liverpool legends, number 9, Ian Rush.
He's a silver fox these days.
Coming off forward is indeed Lennox Kelly.
Oh, he's only just come on. I'm going to come off already.
And he had his moment in front of the Kop, coming off for the Liverpool legends, number 24, John Bishop. It's not bad, is it? Replaced by number 7, Kenny Dalglish.
Judging by the way he's looking, he might spend that long on the touchline and have him come off again.
Also coming on is number 3, Steve Staunton.
Dalglish is back on.
He replaces Declan Jones.
Steve Staunton. The elder statesman is back. As Alan Hansen would say, you win nothing with pensioners.
Well, I mean, maybe Dalglish and Rush can do a little bit of... shows a little bit of magic again, because second half, I think, without Aldridge and Rush, Liverpool were less effective.
Here goes Dalglish. Alan Stubbs is going to let him go on. It's Kenny Dalglish. Bobby Mims is going to chase him around, but guess what? One last time, Kenny Dalglish scores at the Kop end. I'll tell you what, these very competitive former footballers wouldn't open the gates like that for many people. But for Kenny Dalglish, on this night of all nights, down at that end, why not? He deserves it.
Well, it'll be some time before that smile is wiped off his face. It's just a lovely moment. And well done, Alan Stubbs and Bobby Mims. I thought for a moment Bobby Mims was going to spoil his party when he gave chase. I thought he might have just got a leg across. Stubbs just didn't see him coming, did he? Just didn't read the run. And I thought Mims was very sluggish, and he's nutmegged him to finish it. Just a great touch, Kop end, Kenny Dalglish. I mean, for those fans, it doesn't get much better. However, the ball finds the net. Wonderful.
Liverpool goal scorers tonight: Rush, Aldridge, Dalglish. And Jerry Marsden's familiar anthem starts to well up from that end of the ground again. An old show tune which Jerry and the Pacemakers covered in the early 60s. You'll Never Walk Alone. At a time when Bill Shankly was the manager here and the Beatles were changing the music scene forever, and Liverpool was the best place on earth to be. Des Walker, oh, that's a good save by Bob Boulder.
I think either side of Bob Boulder, and I think he would have been picking it out of the net. Luckily for Bob Boulder, it was Adam, and yet, even then, it nearly just dipped beyond him. Look at the dip on this from Des Walker. Stood off, and it was really sinking at the end, and he's done well to read it.
If that had gone in, then Ricky Thomason would say that Dalglish's goal didn't count. Good work by Boulder again. It's a terrific pass from Gethin Jones, and Steve McManaman's running free. McManaman. Here's Dalglish again. Michael Thomas and Ian Rush. McAllister, Rush, Thomas. And Stubbs managed to hook it up in the air. Hit by Redknapp.
Dalglish was allowed an easier route to go, and I thought for a moment the All-Stars were trying to do it for Jamie Redknapp. That's it, 3-1.
Well, it wasn't really about the result, although he'll tell you differently. It was about the memories and about the cause. The memories are special, and so is the cause. Marina Dalglish's appeal will have benefited from the marvellous attendance here this evening. But all who came through the gates of Anfield, wanted to roll back some years, have been rewarded with some marvellous efforts and some marvellous moments from some of the greatest players ever to wear those red shirts. Maybe the greatest of all, Kenny Dalglish, was at the heart of it all again and eventually scored. And I think we've got a reporter who may just be able to grab an interview with him.
Okay, I know you want to thank everybody, but just sum up tonight for me.
I don't know whether we'd have scored there if Stubbs never got out of the road and Bobby Mims never fell over. But it's fantastic for everybody. It's a great occasion. It's great for people on Merseyside, and it's for a really worthwhile cause. I think Ricky Thomason could be under pressure. He could lose another job here.
You don't think they'll be asking him back?
I think they could be asking him to go.
What did you think of Carrot as assistant manager?
Well, he's got a future, but I think Ricky's best days are behind him. But the whole occasion, all the lads, it's fantastic. They give up their time freely and willingly. Alan Shearer to come down and play in the game, and he's got a massive match at the weekend. It was brilliant, a great testament to him and the guy as a person, really.
And you mentioned earlier the goal that you scored, probably one of the easiest, but was it one of the most enjoyable?
It was, yeah. And I can imagine your mum sitting at home there because she couldn't make it, killing herself laughing. But I'll get it on tape for her.
Well, she can sit and watch the tape a bit later on. Thanks very much and well done.
What a pleasure to see so many fantastic footballers and fantastic supporters of the city and the club turn out on a night like this for a fantastic cause. There'll be a special rendition of You'll Never Walk Alone on the pitch. Obviously lots more reaction from those involved here tonight before we're done. To remember the 96 and to raise funds for a very good cause. A very good night.
If you need to find a cab in a strange city, there's an app for that. Or figure out your share of the bill for a table of 5. There's an app for that. Or fix a wobbly bookshelf. There's even an app for that. Yep, there's an app for just about anything. Only on the iPhone.
I know you find us annoying, but we've got something to say. Hot noodle now tastes even better. New flavor is here to stay. Testify, it's been testified. Oh yeah, I love making pot noodle. More fun than throwing a poodle. Tastify.
To make your world a better place, we've dropped our electricity prices, giving you the cheapest standard electricity on average in Britain. Meaning you'll have more money to spend on the little things that matter. You can switch at britishgas.co.uk. Look after your world with British Gas.
high definition has the power to make your viewing experience more intense. But at explosive speed, the action can become blurred and the detail missed. Now, helping you leave motion blur behind, the new Panasonic Viera Neo PDP televisions with 600 Hz technology and FreeSat HD built in, because motion clarity matters. Panasonic, ideas for life.
The start of a poker tournament. Hundreds of opponents buzzing with excitement. All waiting to hear the most exciting words in poker. Shuffle up and deal. Are you ready for tournament poker at the world's largest poker site? PokerStars.com.
Millions of men around the world shave with Gillette. So we've learned a thing or two about the science of shaving. For a great shave, prepare your skin before, shield during, and refuel after every shave. Born from the science of shaving, try new Gillette Series Shave Care. Inspired by millions of men for one face, yours.
To make your world a better place, we've got the cheapest standard electricity on average in Britain. Switch at britishgas.co.uk.
With both sides fierce on the attack, there's a promise of goals in Istanbul. The UEFA Cup final, Shakhtar vs Werder Bremen, Wednesday at 7 on ITV4.
Welcome back to Anfield. 3-1 to the Legends tonight, and now, in honour of those that died at Hillsborough, a special rendition here on the pitch at Anfield of the club anthem, You'll Never Walk Alone.
Ladies and gentlemen, just before you leave us tonight, thank you once again for your much valued support. I think it's time for a sing-song, and introducing you to a real Liverpool musical legend from Echo and the Bunnymen, Ian McCulloch.
I'll give it my best shot here. Sing along with us, please. And this is an honour, biggest honour of my life. Where's Jerry to start? Is the track coming on? Through a storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of love. Walk on through the
Well, there have been some obviously big nights here, some special renditions of that anthem. Not everybody was necessarily in tune, but everybody felt the same way, I think, in that moment. What that meant to those on the pitch and those in the stands here at Anfield. Important night for the club, an important night for the supporters, to see those that they've loved to watch play down the years strut their stuff once again. No more than that man who's responsible in many ways for the way the club dealt with the tragedy of Hillsborough and everything that's happened since then. More reaction to come and the thoughts of Jim Beglin before we're done tonight. Back shortly. (3-1), and among the scorers, one Kenneth Matheson-Dalgleish. Still got it, and he's one of several talking to Kelly.
Well, Dad, first of all, you've just shown your goal, just shown that maybe you've still got it, or have you? Did Bobby Minns hand you that goal?
The linesman let me play on. Alan Stubbs stood back out the road, and Bobby Minns stepped aside. Well, I thought he was stepping aside, and then he started running after it. Maybe a wee ma sitting in her bed watching it might make her feel a wee bit better.
What about John and Rushy's goal? How did you see them?
I saw Rushy's goal on the TV when I went indoors there. But Aldo was unlucky. The goal came with a good save, and then Aldo came in with a diving header. They did what they've always done for Liverpool score.
John, how did you find it tonight?
We really enjoyed it. The crowd were magnificent as always. Rose to the occasion, 20,000. Great atmosphere, and it rubs off, and the years have gone by, but you felt young again for an hour or so. Well, you thought you did. But it's
felt
just lovely
young
to score, for me and Ian, obviously, and Kenny, it's very special, even in these games.
Why was it important for you to play tonight?
Well, obviously, for what it stands for. Everyone knows about the 96. We're all after justice. We're getting nearer and nearer, or it seems we're getting nearer and nearer. One day it'll happen, please God. And obviously, for your mum's charity, absolutely fantastic.
And two great performances from two great goal scorers. I'm leaving you out of this for the moment. Ian, tell me about your goal.
Well, I think it was a great ball thing from Ronnie Whelan, I think. Put it over the top, and Aldo was a great header by Aldo. We know he's good in the air, and Bobby Minns, as usual, dropped it, and I just went and tapped it in. I couldn't miss it, but it's been in the right place at the right time.
You're his worst nightmare, mate.
Mike Bassett, England manager, you've managed to take the whole of the world, bring them to Anfield to take on just one team, and you couldn't manage to get a result.
No, I'm disappointed, to say the least. I thought two of their goals were well offside. I think brown envelopes have changed hands before the game. I'll be back. Oh yes, I've had enquiries from all over the place, from Southport, Litherland, the Bootle Sunday League. I'll be back. You wait.
Well, he certainly looked like he enjoyed it. Did you three enjoy it?
Yeah, we loved it. It's great just to walk out at Anfield, but when there's such a big crowd here, it does give you that extra energy to play, and it was great to be out at Anfield.
And you've all played with each other before. Does that come right back into it? Do you get right back into the swing?
So, we all know we haven't played each other for a long time, but, we know the movement, know the passing, and you know your players. And I think it's shown that at times tonight. And
just briefly, how would you sum up the evening?
I think it's fantastic. Hopefully the people have enjoyed it, because the players have certainly enjoyed it. Ricky Tomlinson's been brilliant, as Mike Bassett or Ricky Tomlinson, whatever his name is. He's still getting his P45. That's another team he's led to defeat. But it's a fantastic evening. Very poignant with the Hillsborough Family Support Group, and obviously for the Radiotherapy Centre as well. There's very much needed money coming in for the people of Merseyside. So once again, they've represented our county brilliantly.
Gentlemen, thank you very much, and well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, of course, to all those involved tonight. itv.com/football, by the way, if you wish to know more about both the charity and Hillsborough. And, of course, you can contribute through the website. The links are there for you if you need them. Thank you very much to Jim Beglin and Clive Tilsley for commentary and punditry on the night's football. Our next live sport for you is touring cars on Sunday, round 6, 7 and 8 from Donington Park. Two important causes tonight, the Radiotherapy Unit and, of course, Hillsborough. One, good night. Night from us.
down here on the ground. When you find folks are giving you the runaround, keep your game up tight. And if you must, just take your secrets underground. If you're lost in a stack, that's okay. Come on, black. Now I'd be the last to deny that I'm just an average guy. And don't you know each little bird in the sky is just a little bit freer than I, an ordinary Joe.